Hi, Debbie. Well, I gave it a 25-minute or so announcement before I started. So this is going to be kind of a practice one, see if I have to schedule it a little bit more in advance. It's hard with two dogs, three birds, and two people that live here. I've kind of got to find a little bit of a quiet time as well as my own time to do it. Are you having an easy Sunday, Debbie? Beginning the week out refreshed. Or are you at Walmart? Ah, gotcha. Short stories or poems or both? Ah, Walmart on Friday. Sometimes they're pretty busy on Fridays. You know, my dad is a writer of short stories, and he's pretty good at it. I can like visualize what he's saying because he hits all the senses: sight, sound, smell, temperature, all of that. And he's written for a few magazines over the years. And one of them was a pilot magazine. It was called Ag Pilot. And he had a story of a plane that had a name. And it was kind of a love story between a man and a woman. And he wrote for quite a while, carrying this story on. And then the magazine found out that he wasn't actually a pilot and they didn't let him write for that magazine anymore, which I thought was kind of crazy. I mean, he never said he was a pilot. He just offered a story for publishing and they accepted it. So he's had a lot of newsletters. And right now he's part of a group that write, I suppose you would call them poems. They cut a piece of typing paper in four pieces and then they either handwrite or type something short on a piece of paper. And somebody, you mail in a whole bunch of them, you know, like a thick stack of them to one place. And then a certain person takes and sorts them out, puts one of each of the stories or poems together, and then they go in a big manila envelope and then they're mailed out once a month to everyone who contributed. And it's big fun for him when that comes in the mail because he has, the big envelope and there will be stamps and stickers and stuff all over it with it decorated. Yeah, Debbie, he does. He likes that. That'll make his whole day. And I'm trying to remember, there was a funny one that he showed me. Something like a man, he had a little cartoon character drawn, and his belly was so big that he had a wheel that was like, it had a frame on it, so it was holding his belly up so he could walk. And he said, I need to lose 10 pounds and I only have 14 to go. Little things like that. Hi, James. Oh, from the UK. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really a fun place to be. I've really ran into some nice people, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but really nice people. I've always kind of shied away from, interacting too much on the internet because there can be some odd characters. And I've had a few, but it's really been great. Hi, Paula. I made a 20 or 25-minute announcement, and we're at almost 6.5 minutes. So that's good, right? So yeah, Debbie, he loves to write short stories. He's having some problems with his left hand now. This finger stays in the locked position. So this one kind of stays down there with it. So he can't really type anymore. So he's gone back to using a fountain pen. I think he calls it a a dip something or other. So he's got different kinds, but this one is where you actually dip it in the ink and then you wipe it off and then you write. And he has pretty decent penmanship. It used to be a lot better, but he's going to be 88 next month, so it's not as smooth as it used to be. I made a big breakfast this morning and everybody's kind of laying low now. They ate a lot and kind of relaxing now until later on in the day. I didn't get up too late today. I got up about 7, so it's a little after 1 now. So it's been a really nice, long, pleasant morning going into the afternoon. I usually do Sunday morning breakfast every week. My dad loves it. He loves a bacon sandwich, scrambled eggs, and piece of sausage. And then this morning I sliced up tomato and avocado to go with it. So he might be even napping, getting ready for dinner. What are you up to, Paula? Debbie's writing short stories today. And James, what are you doing? You are in a completely different time. It's not 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Hi, Candy. I saw your corn last night. I guess you're getting ready to eat it now. I'll try to be there, Paula. I know it's at 6 o'clock. So it's going to be 5 o'clock here. You know, Kendi, my mom used to make cream style corn, and she really got in. Of course, we were always on a budget, but she really got into that corn, and she called it the hearts. Once she cut the corn off of the cob, she just got in there and really scraped all those little hearts out. She goes, "That's where all the cream comes from." Blue Hole peas. I haven't heard of that. Oh, your mom said the same thing, Kendi. Yeah, my mom could really stretch the food and stretch a budget. She always made spaghetti sauce with tomato juice. Now, there was 7 of us in the family, so she did have to stretch the food budget some, but it was always good. Oh, Kendi's been working 2 days on one meal. That's awesome. Purple Hull. Okay. Yeah, moms are pretty good at making the best of things like that. I was talking to Cynthia at Senior Insights, and she likes to make homemade ice cream. And I was telling her, as a child, my grandparents lived way out in the country on 5 acres, and they had a gravel road going up to their place, and it was on Laughlin Road, and that was my maiden name, my grandparents' last name. And along the road, right at the front of their property, were all these blackberry bushes. So Grandma would send us 5 girls out there to pick blackberries, and we'd get scratched and so on and get stained fingers, and we'd bring these blackberries back in, and she'd rinse the road dust off and then start making homemade ice cream. And she always used sweetened condensed milk, and the old-timey one with the crank. She put the salt around the outside, and us girls would take turns cranking until it got too stiff because the ice cream started to freeze. Then Dad and Grandpa would have to take over. And I remember that one, container that was, however tall and however big around. It was just basically a good taste with some cookies or cake, and the ice cream was gone when there was 9 of us to eat it. Dessert was not a meal. It was definitely just dessert. Oh, Kendi, your grandmother used tomato juice too. Yeah, it worked. She used cornstarch to thicken it up. When she started out, it kind of had almost a little bit of a pinkish color to it. Me too. Love peas and beans. Honestly, our ice cream. Paula says parents knew how to stretch $1 and a meal. Yes, they really, really did. I remember there was an egg farm close to where we used to live, and they were closing down. And we would go and get these. Well, we went and got these old laying hens, and they were, I don't know how many to a box, 10 or 8 or something. It was just a square box about so big. They were like crammed in there, and we put a bunch of them in the back of a truck. Looked like Beverly Hillbillies driving back to our house because now we lived in town. And we turned the chickens loose in the backyard, and slowly we got them all put up. And my mom was even saving the eggs that didn't have shells around them yet that were inside the chickens. She's like, those are the best, those are the creamiest. But nothing was wasted. You can even make bone broth out of the chicken feet. Yeah, she used everything. But it took me a while to get over the smell of putting up chickens. Like when you'd thaw them, it would just remind me. And I guess that was being kind of sensitive as a kid, but we did what we were told to do. Okay, I'm seeing Paula says hi. Oh, there is Connie. Hi, Connie. Are you having a good afternoon? Connie, you're always so kind. You're always leaving little comments on my videos. I appreciate that. Oh, Paula, I'm glad you got to meet Connie. She's very sweet. This week I have to get outside and trim some bushes, as well as cut the grass in the back. I'm not looking forward to that. I keep hoping it's going to get a little bit cooler. And I think we've got a few more weeks for that. It's 91 right now. I'm over summer. I'm ready for fall. Connie, I'm not sure who you're talking to, if you're talking to me or you're talking to Paula or you're talking to Debbie Sue. Do you know Debbie Sue, Connie? Oh my gosh, Kendi. Yeah, the grass is, unfortunately, it doesn't grow as fast when it's hot as it does when it's a little bit cooler, but still. And it seems like I have the excuse, oh, the sprinklers are just on. It's wet. I can't. Oh, thank you, Connie. I really have a ball making the videos. Hey, Benny. Shh. Can you stop? I'm trying to talk. Thank you. He gets competitive with me. Somebody comes and cuts the front of the grass, but we have a pool in the back, so the gate's locked. And there's just a little bit of grass back there that I take care of. And then on one side of the house where the air conditioning is, that's locked off too. It just helps to keep traffic from going through your side yard. I'm going to get him a nut. I'll be right back. Do you guys need a treat? Are you bored? Here you go. Here you go. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Kendi says it has slowed down a lot on growth, but I'm determined to do this lawn so I can get exercise. Then I pay my lawn guy to edge and cut the bushes. Yeah, the bushes can be really, I guess, yeah, they can be a lot of work. I don't really mind the cutting. I mind picking them up when I'm done. I've got like those holly ones that are real stickery, so I have to wear gloves. Connie, you're going to love Paula. She has such a sense of humor. I'm going to tell your business, Paula. She was a school counselor at an elementary school, and the personality is so silly and so happy, easy to smile. I bet the kids adored her. And she's just enjoying her life, and she's just a joy. Oh, Debbie, you don't have to be on here. Go ahead and do what you need to do. I'm sorry that somebody's husband passed away. You know, unfortunately, the older we get, the more that seems to happen. I know you are, Paula, and that's going to keep you young. I'm silly too. I enjoy being silly and telling jokes and cracking up. It is. There's a real silly side to me, and I can feel it coming out the longer I'm on here making videos. I mean, I felt when I made that the first part of my video yesterday, I felt like I just looked completely nuts because I was, going into the camera like this. But that's me, and I'm feeling more comfortable that I know the people that are watching and commenting, and it's okay to be myself. So that's kind of fun. Kendi says, Paula, I too funny. Paula, you act like that guy. He was a principal, I think, but he turns out he's a comedian too. Oh, Kendi, are you talking about the principal that goes down the hall singing like the parody songs? I saw a principal that did that, and he was hilarious. Kids joining in with him. I don't know what his name is. Jerry? Or is that pronounced Gary? I don't know. This guy that I'm talking about is kind of average height, average build. And I only saw one video. It came up in my feed, and then I watched a couple more. I think they were all shorts. But I really enjoy people that don't mind cutting up and acting silly, and it's so refreshing. Oh, you don't think you've seen him? Yeah, they should. The one I saw, he pulled up in front of the school, and then he just like parked his car in the front and ran in, and he's doing always silly things down the hall, and you'll see doors open up and the kids come out and join him. Connie says, I feel like this group is so nice and how fun that this channel grows. So will our friendships. That's true, Connie. That's true. Candy, little short balding guy. He's from the South with a Southern drawl, so I could never understand his last name. I was watching Dee and, oh shoot, what's his name? It's a retired couple, and I haven't really met her, but I've heard of her, and she's up in the Northeast, and she has a Northeastern accent. I told her she reminded me of Fran from The Nanny, and she said, oh, no, you're not the first person that told me that. She was funny too. I don't remember what. Anyway, she's pretty silly too. You know who I'm talking about, Debbie, Debbie Sue, Dee. It's Dee and somebody retired. It's her husband's name. And I saw her name in the feed on someone else's live, and that's how I found her. I should be able to find it in my history. Dee and Doug retired is the channel name. And she was just sitting on her couch talking to everybody. And she's really quite funny. Evie, your AirPods stay in your ears. Mine don't. LOL, I'm convinced my ears are deformed. These do stay in, but only the ones that don't have the rubber tip on them. Yeah, I'm bad about these because I'll forget that I'm wearing them. I did notice though, when I was on that panel with you, Paula, that listening to it back, my sound is terrible. It sounds kind of cheap and hollowed out, and I really don't know what else to use. If I use a little like microphone, I'm not going to be able to hear it. So, and I don't want it blasting through the house. But my ear canals are small. If I get those rubber ones with the little rubber tip, it feels like that it's stretching my ear out. Debbie, I'm not sure which one. Are we talking about the guy at the school, or are we talking about the lady I watched the live? I already forgot his name as quick as I went and read it. My husband got me some ear pods. They're called Shocks, SHO, I think it's KZ, and they're really nice. They sit right here in the front, and then they have a band that goes around the back, but it doesn't like touch your hair. It sticks out like probably that far. But I don't have them set up on all of my devices yet. I tried to use them while I was laying in bed, and they go, because it's got extra room, they pushed really forward and didn't work. Yours sounded good, Kendi. I think everyone's did except mine. And I will, like I said, forget these are in, but they do have the microphone as well. Maybe that's why we see people, the serious YouTubers that play games and have the lives all the time. They've got the whole headset on. The lady. Oh yeah. What did I say her name? His name was? Because I don't really know much about him. It's her that I was watching. She was talking about the difference of their Doug. Maybe I can remember D and Doug. It's D and then the letter N and then Doug. Retired. She was talking about how opposite they are. But she's in her 60s. I can't remember how old she said she was, and they've been married for a really long time. She said he was upstairs doing something, and so she was downstairs doing a live. Jerry Brooks. Okay, I'll write that down. I love funny stuff. Okay, Paula. Yeah, I'll look him up. So it's the way he says Jerry, or I think that's Jerry, not Gary, has the drawl. It was driving me crazy. Had to look him up. Yep, that will me too, especially if I don't look it up before I go to bed. Then I start trying to search my mind. Oh, that's awesome. The other day on that panel, we were talking about the channels, and there was that one guy that does the lawns, donates his time and his equipment to do them for free. Somebody else brought up Al Blades, and he does the same thing. And I just love their personalities and the work that they do. There's another one that's is it the Boring Brothers or something like that? Their last name is Boring. But yeah, it's fun to watch people cut the lawns. I don't know why. I do enjoy it. Of course, I got the big fancy lawnmowers that they can stand up and ride on, and they go over brush and little tiny branches and chop it all up. Hey, Ace. I know I've seen you before. Yes, he came within an hour of my school. It was supposed to be for school counselors, but teachers all got the seats. Aw. Yes, I love to watch those guys do the yards. It's amazing. It's actually inspired me to, Kendi, we were talking about cutting the grass, and it's like, you know what? He just did it. Just get off your butt and go do it. It's inspiring. And he's not even doing his own. Well, I watched him do the Al Blades. I watched him do his yard one day, and he said, my wife's been after me. I've been doing everyone else's yard. Now I'm going to do my own. Oh, Aces from Sally Sunrise. I catch her randomly. I don't get up as early as she does, and I'm in Texas and she's in Pennsylvania, so she's already an hour ahead of me. It is. I think vacuuming's the same way too, especially back when we used to have shag carpet in the 80s because it all stood up nice. So speaking of Ace being on Sally's lives, I went and checked on her because she had all that dental work done and hoped that she was feeling better because she had quite a bit done. And I think she just gave me a heart. I don't think she commented, so she might still be a little under the weather. Yes, she has. I mean, back-to-back appointments in 1 week and no resolution. Just keep coming back or go to somebody else. I hate to say it, but sometimes that's part of the bad part about getting older. I feel like we don't get treated sometimes as kindly as other people. I don't know how to say that nicely, but if you're not young and beautiful, then they're a little bit, I don't know, we kind of take the back seat sometimes. Connie says, one nice thing about retirement is we can mow or clean house and not have to hurry. Yes, Connie, you're right, because I felt like I was like, okay, I got to this, and I was running, trying to get it all done so that I was finished. And I was like, I don't actually have to finish. I can spread the stuff out. Yes, Paula, Sally was dealing with people that just absolutely did not care whether she was suffering, didn't believe she was suffering. And those people that treat some of us with less care, kindness, respect, I hope they realize that somewhere their mother, father, grandparent, whatever, might be being treated poorly by someone else as well. Oh, Ace, you're sweet. Kendi, I know you're still working. And you definitely need the rest. Yeah, it's busy. I started my YouTube channel before I retired. I started it in February and I retired in May. And I was trying to get a lot of videos out, and it wasn't as much for trying to get popular or get the, a bunch of views or whatever. I did want to meet people. That was a priority. So I would feel comfortable, but I wanted to learn how to use my equipment and how to edit and how to do all the things so that when I was ready to do it, I would say full time. When I retired, when I had all the time I wanted / needed, I was ready to hit the ground running. And I think that was a good plan for me. So I think, Kendi, you'll be grateful for all the time and energy you've put into this by the time you do retire. Connie says, I took my son with me to a doctor when I felt like I wasn't being heard. Sad, but it works. Yeah, you have to have somebody in your corner to advocate for you. My son's a sergeant in the police department. Maybe I should have him go with me in uniform. Actually, I do go to his dentist, and she's like, "Oh, your family. My husband's a firefighter, and your husband's a sergeant in the police department, or your son's a sergeant in the police department. So, yeah, your family." And yeah, she does take really good care of me. I took my mom to MD once. She talked to me rather than to her. It was an elderly MD and should have known better. Yes, definitely. I mean, if you're in any kind of doctoring field, you're really supposed to be helping people, not making things worse for them or feeling guilty or not believing them. I know there's people that say they're in pain when they're not, or say they're uncomfortable when they're not. Why they do that, I don't know, but that's not true for everybody. I went through that a little bit with my daughter. She chose a path that she shouldn't have chosen, and she realized it, but it was too late. But she had some issues with some substances that really were horrible, and consequently, she got treated horribly by medical staff. And I was there to witness it, and there's not a lot you can do about it because I couldn't be there 24 hours a day. So I didn't want it to be worse when I wasn't there. I recommend 2 to 3 people work on a channel together. Hindsight is 2020. Debbie Susie says it happens a lot. Paula says you mean like a group channel? Connie, oh, me too, because I did have a serious issue, but had surgery and good now. Thank goodness for kids. LOL, yes, take that police officer with you. I would love to see that one. Kendi, yep, these channels take a lot of time and effort. The duos of spouses and friends are working smart. My own opinion. I think the more people you had on a channel, or more than one, I'll say, would definitely make a difference because you got somebody to talk that stuff over with. One of the channels I had years ago, I did have that where I had a friend. We were reviewing some things. I had a friend come over and we did it together, and it was the best time. There was so much laughter that actually one of the commenters said, you ladies look like you're drunk. No, we were just happy. Hi, Guybrush. Greetings back to you from US, from Germany. Yay. Oh, hi, Gina. Little Portion Cottage. Did you get my message about that pendant you were asking about? I know what shape you were talking about it being, but those actually are kind of curved over. But yeah, I just think it's an older style of jewelry, probably. Oh, well, you have fun with your happy hour and your hubby, Gina. You're hearing a scratching sound from me, maybe because I'm doing this. I'll try to keep my hands down. Let me know if it's better, Guybrush. I told Gina at Little Portion Cottage that we did give her a little shout out on the live. I've been challenged because I've been away from social medias for 16 plus years, and then AI up and try to start a YouTube challenge. Ah. Bye, Gina. Okay, I'll try to keep my hands down. I had a friend years ago I was telling a story and I was all animated with my hands, and she said, "Put your hands behind you." So I did, and she goes, "Okay, now talk." And I really couldn't. I'm trying to practice. I know I've heard before when I've done that, especially if I'm wearing it on my shirt, but I'm not wearing it on my shirt right now. Yes, talking with my hands is part of my speech. I don't want to keep you all here too long. I just really wanted to get another practice live under my belt. A practice. I had a hard time even making the post, but made the post, and now I've done it, and I'm completely satisfied. So if you'd all like to get on with your Sundays, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I don't know how they express themselves without talking with their hands, Paula. It adds so much more to the story. And I like to tell stories, true and not true. I will tell you if it's not true, though. Are you, Debbie? I think women are more talking with their hands than the men, but you watch the speakers, the men, and they're always like, not as over the top as the women are. Thank you, Kendi. Well, I'm going to let y'all go and have a great rest of your Sunday. And I'll see you all on the videos. I'll be looking. I checked for a new one from you, Paula, this morning, and your last long content was of your new studio with all your little pink sparkles. Thank you so much for stopping by, Guybrush. I appreciate it. Great to see you, Paula, Connie, Kendi, Debbie. Did I miss anybody? I think Gina's already gone. Okay, y'all. Thank you. Bye.